Hello, hello. Welcome to our second round of our Team Unified Fight Night. For this round, guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm incredibly excited for this. We have Slayer on some variation of Reanimator. It goes real fast, it kills real quick. And we got Blind Tyrant on Elves. Of course, let's see. Blind Tyrant is with Go Absurd. So if Blind Tyrant wins this, Go Absurd will be taking this in a 2-0 match sweep where we're kind of rooting for Slayer here. I want to see Grizzlebrand go fast. What about you, Prez?
I think that sounds good as well. Like that being said, we're still gonna have round three happening no matter what, regardless of what the match here is. However, technically speaking, the team will win if they win there. I think Reanimator can definitely be a little bit faster than Elves in this particular case, especially given the we are playing the Tin Fins package here using Children of Corliss. So this is definitely a super explosive deck. You know,
We
also
actually we have both players
functionally a
mulling down
combo
to
deck. I'm
5.
not combo.
Yeah. Uh, it 100% is. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
Both players are mulliganing down to 5 at the moment. Here's the real question: which deck does better on a mull to 5?
I would say Reanimator generally.
Yes.
Largely because that if you can start off with a Chancellor of the Annex and then just have like Entomb and a Reanimate spell, you're golden.
Yeah, I do think that you're right here. And of course, this does kind of bode well for us if we're rooting for not combo at the moment. Looks like Blind Tyrant is keeping the 5. Yep. And so, and if I don't believe if we mentioned this, Slayer is going to be on the play here. It looks
Yeah.
like we're deciding at the moment.
Yeah. Slayer looks like he's keeping his
Yeah.
his 5 as well.
Perfect, perfect. So I'll be very clear. I have exactly one thing on my bingo card for this match. I just want to see a Tendrils of Agony kill out of Slayer. That's the one thing I care about here.
Yeah.
All
Go
right,
fast.
let's see it. Gotta go fast, baby. Sonic style.
So we're just
Passing.
gonna get
Okay.
land pass.
That is not the go fast that we wanted.
Well, maybe not on turn one, but this could also be like fetch end step and tomb.
Oh, that's very true. So nothing massively special about this Elves build, of course. This is the Nettle Sentinel version as opposed to Newton's Reclaimer Elves. So this is the Elves that goes fast and can combo quick.
Yeah.
Of note, there is the single Archon of Valor's Reach main board and the single
Ooh.
Reclamation Sage.
I
Reach
like
on
Archon of Valor's
Reach-Hero.
Reach. I
That will
like
be
Archon of Valor's Reach here a lot.
that will be very good in this matchup. Early natural order will probably be all they need to finish this out, even if it is not getting Crater Hoof with enough creatures on board.
Yeah. So now here's the question though: is do you name enchantment to hit Animate Dead, or do you name sorcery to hit Exhume and I guess Shallow Grave's an instant. Ugh.
Uh, if I think that you name sorcery just because it's a known quantity that there's going to be more sorceries in the deck and you're hitting the same amount of reanimate effects.
True.
Might change depending on what you see, but what are
Also,
we entombing for?
not sure in this case right here. If we are entombing, it looks like we grab Grizzlebrand there, which I actually
Seems
like.
correct.
Of note as well, sorcery actually also hits Tendrils of Agony, Unmask, Reanimate Thoughtseize, Faithless Looting, and yeah, that's a lot of hits.
So, out of curiosity, again, these players do not have open deck lists. However, Slayer is a very known reanimator player in the Discord. Uh, would you assume that there's tendrils in the list in the blind? Like
Um,
I just see Entomb for Grizzlebrand off of a Badlands, and I would just immediately think that there's no tendrils, and it's just very traditional. What was his name? Whatever that streamer was that popularized Rakdos Reanimator.
EU
And
Landon.
there we go, Landon. And we're seeing the reanimate on Grizzlebrand. This is it, baby.
Oh
Going
wow,
fast.
we got the fast start. So this is exactly what you want on a Multi 5.
Oh,
Is turn
absolutely.
2 Grizzlebrand on the play against a deck that doesn't interact with you at instant speed. Yeah,
Withdrawn
Eric
7.
Landon, thank you. Um, Also of note here as well, though, Blind Tyrant is a newer player to our Discord as well. Slayer won our second ever league on functionally this exact same deck, plus or minus a couple cards.
A veteran, to say the least.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it. Is this particular Tendrils build of Reanimator Slayer's been playing since at least August.
So of note, Slayer only gets the single draw 7 at the moment, just because of life total and reanimate hitting down so hard.
Yeah.
Looks like playing a Badlands. Or was that was fetched off of a Marsh Flats, actually.
Yeah. March Flats
Going
fetched
down.
down to 3 life.
Oh, Dryad Arbor beats. Get there, baby. Do it
Of
somehow.
note here
I don't
as
know how.
well, with playing Badlands instead of Scrubland here, this is not a Children of Corliss.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? I guess that was the exact way for us to continue going.
Yeah.
But are we just going to see
Gummy
a Faithless
Squid
Looting
saying
here?
Tyrant's been playing Elves for about 3 minutes.
It's okay. If I recall correctly, Blind Tyrant is an infect player, so you know what? They got a little bit of understanding of how to use one elf at least. That good old Glistener elf. Best elf, by the way.
Bias.
Oh,
Bias.
absolutely. I hold my biases out of my sleeve for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Discarding a good amount of cards down. Looks like
Thoughtseize and Reanimate were the discards. Unmask.
yep. That of
Ooh.
course was off of a Faithless Looting.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I like taking the Wirewood there. Or, sorry, the Visionary, my bad. Ranger seems okay if you draw something here, but because it can untap the Dryad Arbor, but otherwise, yeah. I think taking that card is 100% what you want to be doing. So, that being said, though, Slayer's at 3 life, although in this particular case, I wouldn't be too worried because you cannot afford to attack with that Dryad Arbor because the Grizzlebrand will just block and then put Slayer to 1,000,000 life again.
Yeah, it's all about setting up for a turn 3 if you're on Blind Tyrant side.
Oh, what a draw!
Oh, that's good. Getting the exact Visionary back.
Yeah.
But this is going to be incredibly difficult. Slayer has the threat of lethaling on this following turn. If this draw 7 was good enough, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'll have to see.
Of
If
note
not,
here, too, if Slayer actually attacks and puts Tyrant down to 12, he only needs to Tendrils for 6 Storm.
it's very true. The question is, if you attack, you do just spend the life, right? You don't just you don't just expect to do the 3-turn clock with Grizzlebrand.
Um, I could see paying that for sure. It depends on what else is in your hand right now. So we're going to get Cradle for 2 more mana. This is going to be for a at least the Quarian Ranger, depending on what the Elvish Visionary drew. So we have the Quarian Ranger there. Return that to the hand of the untap the Dryad Arbor. We've already played a land for turn with the Cradle. And then tap that for 2 more. Greenstone Zenith X is 1.
Getting Heritage Druid, I imagine.
I would imagine this is for Heritage Druid, but could be wrong. That being said, though, there can't really be too much else that this could be because we actually know. Even if this is a Heritage Druid, you have nothing to do with the mana. Although I could see grabbing it now and just hoping to not die next turn.
Yeah, this is interesting. Other note could be getting the Insect, of course, just to try to do draw card plan, but that doesn't seem like that's going to be a winning line, to be honest.
Yeah. Ooh, Shepherd. I actually like that with the Cradle.
Yeah, absolutely. This is representing with land swing 10 if it's just regular land. No, wait. Can you swing for 15?
It's swing 15 here. Oof.
Oh, this is
rough.
Fantastic yet.
This is rough because if that's the case, this is a bad spot for Slayer to be in because this is exactly 10. So Slayer has to go off now because we know that there's another land in hand. Slayer's absolutely forced to go off right now because, yeah, we know that there is another land in hand for Tyrant. This will be pay 6, activate it, swing for 15. Even if you didn't attack, you're at 3 life. The life link will put you back up to 10, and then the other 10 will get 3. Of note, the dinosaurs don't have trample. And we are counting Storm.
Perfect.
Oh, gosh.
We got that Caleb Sherwood token.
Yeah. Dark Ritual. Oh, I love me some white borders. Let's go. Deckmaster.
Agreed, eternally surprised. It is a very good card. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. Very, very busted. Storm 1, triple black and pool. We're going to see a Faithless Looting off of the other Badlands. Drawing 2 cards. And of note here, again, Slayer only needs to get Storm 6.
This is fascinating. Can we also just say how great that draw sequence was for Blind Tyrant? We had the
Yes.
unmask revealing that there was not the Green Sun Zenith or the Visionary. Rip Visionary into Green Sun Zenith. That was fantastic. That was just
Yeah.
amazing.
Unmask, exiling Animate Dead, targeting Tyrant, revealing 2 lands, of which we know is lethal.
Those were both known quantities as well, if I recall correctly. I
Yeah.
believe that was in there.
So we're going to ritual up to 5 black, and then Storm is now at 4, and then a 5th card.
Looks like that's Dark Ritual again. Or Tendrils for 7.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is it.
Oof. Wow, he
Like,
did get there.
like we
Wow.
said, this was going to be a real fast game.
Yeah. Yeah,
I gotta
Gummy
say,
Squid Shepherds are expensive, yes.
oh, absolutely. I am very impressed by Blind Tyrant there in stringing that together to be representing lethal on
Yeah.
turn 3 with the multi-5 and through an unmask. That
Yeah.
way, and also knowing that Blind Tyrant is not normally an Elves player, that was quite fascinating. Let's go ahead and jump into sideboarding.
Yeah.
Jump into sideboards just in case their sideboarding goes as fast as this last game. Let's start over with Slayer's side. 2 Pyroblasts, 2 Xantid Swarms, 1 Abrade, 1 Return to Nature, 1 Serenity. I'll be reading that later. 1 Shenanigans, 1 Magus of the Moon, 1 Reverent Silence, 1 Wear Tear, 1 Sire of Insanity. Oh, gorgeous. 1 Elish Norn Grand Cenobite. Hint, that's probably coming in.
Yep.
1 Ashen Rider and 1 Iona Shield of Emeria. What are you liking to come in? What do you think are the cards to come out on Slayer's side?
Elishnorn, Iona, they're both coming in. I'll read Serenity for you because I actually know what that card does.
Thanks,
It's
Tommy.
an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
Okay, that ain't coming in. Thank you.
No, it's not coming in, but that's what Serenity does for reference. I actually think that might just about be it. I think your best bet is to just go faster. Magus of the Moon's also a good one here.
I also have respect for the bringing in Iona, right?
Well, Iona as well. Yeah, I did mention
Okay.
Iona, Elishnorn, and Magus. I think would be my 3 ins. Sire could be good, but I don't think with the way that Elves goes off, especially with you being on the draw, I don't think it's going to be fast enough. Because if you can land a turn 1 Nettle Sentinel and then you top deck like a Birchlore Rangers, you're laughing.
Well, here's the question. The Chancellor, do you keep these in just to try to delay their initial start? Or are those cards that you can take out to upgrade to like an Action Rider, right? That's my
I
big
could see that.
big question. However, at the same time, being able to just use that to delay the turn 1 start, I think is really fascinating.
Yeah, I'd
Well,
probably
let's
leave
see how
2
this goes.
Chancellors in.
So real quick, let's jump on over to the Elves side. Elves has 4 Thoughtseize, 3 Abrupt Decays, 2 Assassin's Trophies, 1 Collector Oof, 4 Leyline of the Voids, and 1 Progenitus. Prez, I think I know your answer. What do you think is coming in?
The 4 Leyline of the Voids, and I actually really like the Progenitus as well, largely because that it's just you never know what's going to be coming up with the Reanimator shell. It's also something that it's still an 8/8 if you Elishnorn. Because if you're expecting an Elishnorn out of the sideboard, the Progenitus is still a good way to get around that. That being said, it's got to come down really early. Maybe it's not the greatest. I could also see Trophy being really good too.
Yeah, I think the big issue is Leyline, right? You only are bringing in Leyline. I don't think it's worth bringing in the Thoughtseizes as well. While in theory that's good against a combo deck, I think that you do still need to maintain your own ability to go off. And we didn't really talk about this before when we were on Slayer's side, but Slayer has to be expecting Leylines if Slayer knows what common Elf sideboard plans are. Leyline really is the way to go, and it's consistently what all the Elves versions have been running. I don't know about Newton Elves at the very least, but Nettle Sentinel versions have definitely been running the Leyline of the Voids. So I suppose we should be also...
Maybe Serenity is coming in.
Yeah. I think Serenity is coming in. Let's put it like that. The green one... oh, wait, no. Reverent Silence is the possibility as well, right?
So Reverent Silence could be one as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Reverent Silence because gaining 6 life is actually a very steep cost. Because elves can definitely go bigger than Reanimator can, and giving them the 6 life when you're trying to either get an early kill or a tendrils kill is really rough.
This is interesting. I do think that we'll at the very least be seeing the Serenity come in as long as Slayer is on the know that Leyline of the Void is the typical Elves plan. But you
Yeah,
really can't be a dedicated Reanimator player without knowing what the common strategies are for all the different archetypes. Although I do still think Reverend Silence will be coming in, to be very honest with you. Um, yeah, this is quite interesting across the board. Of course, Blind Tyrant's going to be on the play here. Blind Tyrant has just as much likelihood to be comboing off on turn 3.
yeah.
So Slayer's just kind of got to go real fast and hope to dodge a ley line.
I think that's kind of what Slayer needs to do in this position. Is you just absolutely must go as fast as you can. Of note, though, too, a on the battlefield Chancellor of the Annex is absolutely backbreaking for a Tyrant.
That is true. Maybe I'm not giving that enough respect.
Yeah, like it's really good for the reveal and the at the beginning of the game clause, but the if he manages to actually reanimate it, it's just absolutely ridiculously powerful.
Hi there, Mia. No, I absolutely hear what you're saying on that. I guess I'm so prone to approaching it as a force of will player, as like a blue player, where I think of it a lot more in terms of my own interaction with them, that I don't think of it as often in terms of how it does stymie my own plan, which is exactly the way that it interacts with elves, right? So this is
Yeah,
gonna be interesting to see the way that it goes. Looks like we're just having a little bit of mic issues on one side of the table. We're just gonna get that sorted out before we go ahead. It looks like we are still resolving the first round of mulligans.
yeah. Looks like we're having some technical issues with the microphone on Slayer's end as well, but we'll figure it out. Sounds like it's good to go. So people are starting up again.
Sounds good. And resolving this first round of mulligans.
So
Uh,
on that note, Oliver,
yes,
if
yes.
people want to come play Legacy on the Discord, how can they do that?
Oh, let me tell you, Fred. So here at the MTGPL, we operate a really open and diverse group of legacy players. We have over 2,000 members at this point, and we have a lot of different outlets for people who want to jam their paper legacy card collection, right? So we operate weekly Saturday challenges. They happen at 1 o'clock EST, so really NA focus. And then we actually have started operating bi weekly EU tournaments that happen at 10 o'clock GMT, and that happens every other Sunday. At the same time, we operate a monthly league, which, in my opinion, is the way to join the Discord. Playing in a random monthly league is how I fell in. Ended up playing against the guy above me in my first round. And then I just started making connections, right? You place a few people in your pools, you start sending DMs, you develop relationships, and then that's really the hook that can draw you in. A lot of fun. Basically, you just have to find six opportunity to play 6 matches with your opponent over the first 2 weeks, and it's quite fantastic.
Yeah,
Additionally, we have an invitational point system, which you cannot just sign up for, of course, but we have a 3 months where all of our players are earning points through league play, through all of our challenge events. And then the top 8 players are going to be playing in a double elimination bracket in the beginning of May. I actually had the privilege of playing in this last round of our season 2 invitational, got second place with good old Infect. And homie, that was the most fun playing Legacy I've ever had. The week beforehand was just top notch with all the metagaming. And
oh,
we see Leyline. And we see Leyline. Let's jump back
and
in.
a Chancellor, and a Chancellor.
Okay, great. Real quick, we also have a fantastic LFG community. So feel free to just jump into the LFG chat and say, hey, Pygmy, I'm up for a game. And I cannot tell you how many matches you're able to jam into a day if you are in that channel.
Yeah,
Yesterday, I
any
got home
time
from
of
work
day.
early. Oh, absolutely. Yesterday, I got home from work early, and by about 8 o'clock my time, I had jammed in 4 games of Legacy. So if you want, go ahead and join us. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. MTG Paper Legacy account already did that, but we would love to see you. And as we like to say in our community, let us be your local meta. And
Yes,
here we
definitely.
go. Let's go back into the game now. Thank you for letting me talk really fast about our community. We saw Misty pass on Blind Tyrant side, respecting this Chancellor trigger. So of course the Chancellor trigger will go into Blind Tyrant's second turn, but they'll be able to play an additional land hopefully, and then make a 1 mana pay for the tax, and be able to get through it. I
Yeah,
believe we kind of missed it. Both players kept 7, I believe. No, Tyrant actually kept 6. I apologize. And we
yeah.
are seeing turn 1 Thoughtseize.
Oh, that's actually a really good starting hand.
I like that, namely because of the ley line.
Well, the ley line makes it really good, but as far as for only having 2 elves, that's probably one of the best starts you could ask for.
Interesting. Taking the Nettle Sentinel, I appreciate that in terms of it combos so well with all the mana production elves.
Yeah,
Um, and we're seeing a fetch at end step, it looks like. Going and getting the
getting Dryad
Dryad Arbor,
Arbor.
the best forest in this deck. Who needs
Yeah.
land or elves when you can just fetch for Dryad Arbors?
Yeah, Dryad Arbor's really good. Like, ridiculously good. There's been many, many games where I've just been, oh, I can untap the Dryad Arbor, and it's super good. Although, personally, I think untapping Dryad Arbor with to Coral Helm is more fun, but...
Get out of here. No one cares. No one cares about your brews, baby. Uh, looks like changing the land that he was playing to go ahead and play Cradle.
Yeah, and then this is going to
Attacking for
pay
one.
for the this is going to pay for the Chancellor as well.
Yep, and I'm not sure if we're floating mana or if we attacked. It looks like we attacked.
No, that is floating mana.
Oh, it is
Because
floating
Cradle
mana.
only
Okay.
makes one.
Oh, that's so true. My apologies.
Yeah.
Seeing second land on Slayer's side. Let's see if Slayer's going to be able to go for it. It's really all about whether or not Slayer boarded in any of the answers to this ley line. Again,
Yeah.
those being the Wear Tear, the Reverent Silence, the Serenity, and the Return to Nature as well as the other possibility.
Yeah.
Passing back.
Another Arbor. Crunch for 2. I really like this. Shauna85, thank you for the follow.
Thank you, thank you. This might not be a fast clock, but you know what? It's probably going to get the job done if we aren't able to deal with this ley line in any capacity.
You can't get near the power button on the computer. Thank you.
As Cartman would say, bad kitty, bad kitty.
Yes.
Again, thank you, Mia, for making a cameo on stream. For a long time, I've been joking that we need a fight night that Mia and our other mod, Dr. Leo's dog, Mango, are just the commentators. I swear to God, that would get us more views than anything we could ever do otherwise, but
Yeah.
that's just me. I'm a
meow
little
bark, meow
biased.
bark.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And was this a pass back after? Or?
Yeah, so we're actually fetching up the Bayou here, which to me says Reverent Silence.
Let's hope. Of course, there is the possibility. There were no Assassin's Trophies in this list, right? There were Assassin's
There were
Trophies in the
Assassin's
Elf
Trophies in Tyrant's list, not
Okay,
in
that's right.
Slayer's.
So either Return to Nature or the Reverent Silence are the two possibilities for this Bayou fetch.
Yeah.
Of course, could also just be prepping for it and hoping to draw it. We'll have to see.
That could be the case as well.
Seeing the Scrubby come down.
Yeah, Return to Nature, that could be the card too. Yeah. Which actually, Return to Nature, I don't mind because it's kind of can hit artifacts or enchantments or whatever. Unmasked to take out the second ley line. I actually don't mind that there because if I was in Tyrant's case, I'd probably be recasting that or playing it again as soon as I can get the other black mana.
This is interesting. Yeah, Unmasked is 4 mana. Why do I always think that's 3? Swinging for 3. Of note, Grizzlebrand's not going to be able to draw a lot of cards. A Reanimate no longer is live for actually being able to draw anything. It does need to be an Animate Deadline or the lovely Shadow.
Well, you need to have you need to actually hardcast anything right now until this leyline is dealt with.
I'm still holding out hope that we're going to see something happen to this leyline, but
I want to see
not
Serenity.
happen.
I want to see Serenity. That card's so cool and so underplayed.
We will have to see the way this goes.
Fetch.
Yep. Slayer could, of course, had instant speed interaction with this leyline, possibly the Return to Nature. If he had any of the other interactions, it would have just been time to go for it immediately on the previous turn. So the only hope really is the Return to Nature at this point. And Wear Tear, I always forget. I have to read that card. Wear Tear, of course, being the other possibility as a way to interact with it.
So that's 3 green mana here. Ooh, keeping track of the mana for us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. I
Cradle.
like those cards quite a bit.
6.
We about to see that.
Are we going to see a Crater Hoof? Oh, we're seeing a
8.
Crater Hoof.
Crater Hoof math. Crater Hoof math. That's lethal. I'm not even going to count. Always lethal. Okay. Let's go to game
Slayer
3.
is at 11. Yeah, that is substantially more than lethal.
The Crater Hoof alone gets Slayer to 2. It's over.
Yeah.
That is just Crater Hoof math, though. If it comes into play, you are dead. Like, you'll need to check every time, but, like, as an Elves player, you jam it and you just go for it. Hoof gets there, baby. The Singleton Oof is found in hand. Doesn't need to go ahead and green center natural order for it. And we're going to see a game 3. So Slayer knows about Leyline now. If the
Yes.
interaction spells are not in there, they are coming in now. So
Yeah, absolutely.
again, at least 2. I'm just expecting 4 at this point, though. I think y'all made a very good point. Wear Tear and Return to Nature, Serenity, and what is the other one?
Reverent
Reverent
silence.
Silence. There we go.
I think you want to bring all of them in.
Yeah, I mean that just is your way to lose. Again, I don't. I wonder if Blind Tyrant does start to consider bringing in Thought Seizes on the draw just to try to interact more. But again, I'm not sure if that's right. You just give your opponent so much time in terms of possibility to draw out when you aren't pressuring that hard. Um,
Yeah.
Again, spoiler alert: I ain't an Elves player. I'm a Glistener Elf player, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still not a fan of the Thoughtseize, generally speaking. Black Red Reanimator specifically more than Blue Black is more inclined to Thoughtseize themselves or unmask themselves. Just by virtue of like the card disadvantage means absolutely nothing to them, and if you're not hitting exactly Reanimate, Exhume, Shallow Grave, or Animate Dead, the card is bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. At the same time, if you hit single payoff card, like if there's no threat and you're able to hit Entomb is live, like there's definitely massive play, right? Because
Yeah.
it isn't like it's Raven's Crime where you're letting Slayer decide, right? Like you're going to hit the key piece that actually interacts and matters.
Yeah.
However, again, it's really just how much it's slowing you down. Like if you're already bringing in the 4 ley lines, I don't know if you can afford to be taking 8 cards out of your clock.
Yeah.
Of course, that Reclamation Sage, I guess, is a very, very easy and free bring in. Thank y'all so much for the subs and follows. It is greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Wedding97, I apologize. I think I missed the one beforehand.
Me, the captain, as well. Gifted subs by Anonymous. Thank you very much, Anon, for doing that.
Thank y'all so much. Let's
Yeah.
see. Going to game 3, both players still shuffling up. Looks like we aren't going to see any mulligans quite yet. Yeah, I kind of want that mana tracking card, though. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, that was a super cool. I haven't seen that specific type of mana tracker before, and yeah, that works out really good because you just put the dice in the color you want.
So I have to imagine Slayer is favored here, right? Slayer's back on the play. Winning game 1 is so huge for Reanimator in terms of being able to lose that game 2, get insight about what is actually the hate cards that is in the opponent's deck, and then being able to be back on the play again. Like, that's just nutty.
Yeah, I agree.
And of course, this is the rubber match in terms of the rubber game in terms of this match specifically. And if Blind Tyrant takes us down again, it's going to be Team Go Absurd locking it in, being able to walk around saying that they won the first ever team event on the MTGPL Discord. We're going to have to see if Slayer goes ahead and snubs their chances for this first match, and for us going to the real rubber match between Cool Guy and, who is our other player?
Zagaif.
And Zigaif. Oh, guys, we have a
That one's
treat for
gonna
you.
be good. That one's
We
gonna
have
be real good.
we have an absolute treat for you. So, of note, as we previously talked about, we let the teams decide what their seeding was going to be after they knew what the opponents were. So, not knowing what their decks were, but just knowing what the opposing team was. And last night, after teams were decided, we were kind of all sitting around and theory crafting what we thought the 3 best matchups were going to be. And y'all, they
Bat
chose
1,000.
exactly that. We got to see Ninjas versus Grixis Delver. We get to see Reanimator versus
And then
Elves.
surprise for the last round. But
Don't worry, Prez. I wasn't going to spoil it, but I am so hyped for this last one. Yes, Cool Guy, y'all still have hope.
yes, absolutely. This
Tyrant
is
7.
yeah,
Slayer
and not only that, but just as well with the ordering of things, just what a great way to do it because there's no all the matches are just not gonna steamroll each other, which is very nice to see.
Oh, Cool Guy, we are all about anonymity. You know that. We are not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
Beyond sadistic, I resent that. Let's see if we're going to end up keeping this 6. And of course, I say this pretty often, but massive thanks to Beyond Sadistic for being our streamer tonight. He is the MTG Paper Legacy here in chat. And then we also have the lovely head judge Popoffy going ahead and spotting all of our rounds tonight. Thank you so much to the both
Much
of you.
appreciated.
It is not doable without you two.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a lot of staff to get these events going, so it takes a while. Sounds like we're getting a Slayer going to 5 saying it's really good, but it doesn't beat a ley line.
Yeah, I think that you have to assume that Blind Tyrant either has Leyline or just has Nuts turn 2, turn 3 possibility.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is that not only that, but this is functionally, as you said, a rubber match as well. Like you can't lose this game.
I'm normally a really big believer in the make them have it mentality.
Yeah.
But
In
that
this case, though, you have a team, right?
yeah, exactly. And also, it's so easy to say that when you're not in the seat, where when you're
Yeah.
in the seat, you really want to be playing around every possibility. And so, like it's just a classic thing. But we'll see. Hopefully, this is a Nuts 5-0 with interaction for Leyline. That's what we're looking for here.
Yeah. That being said, we did see Tyrant with the Nuts 5 last time. Or
It
sorry,
was
Slayer with the Nuts 5.
it was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, turn 2 Grizzlebrand is kind of nutty.
Yeah, especially on a Mulda 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't complain. This deck does mulligan pretty well, honestly. You only
Yeah.
need the 4 ideal cards. Um, but I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Are we keeping this? It looks like we're keeping this.
I would imagine we're keeping this. You'd have to have an absolutely abysmal hand to go down to 4, even if it doesn't play around Leyline.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, just
Slayer
careful
can
about
push a
leaning
little
it
bit.
forward there. That's the that is the only one issue there. So we've had people ask before. Oh, we're getting the Chancellor Leyline start again. We've had people asking before about how to try and make sure that you're not ghosting your opponent. Your opponent see exactly what we see. So the only way you can get your opponent or your opponent can ghost you is if you fan your hand towards them and they can
Oh,
see it on camera.
and for anyone saying that our insight might help them, have you heard me talking tonight? If anything, I'm going to be proposing lines that are muddling them up. You know what I mean? Like if you are trying to ghost this stream, you are at a direct in advantage or disadvantage, right? Just because you get to hear me and Prez banter in your ear while you're trying to decide what the correct lines are.
Yeah, you
Seeing
might get the odd little bit of oh, there's this card in the deck list, but that's about it.
no, that's true. I guess we would have spoiled the braids for anyone going in.
Yeah.
Cool guy, I stand by that. You board out Force of Wills. Always. Always.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's an Elves hand. Oh my goodness.
You have to hit the Heritage
Oh,
Druid or
that's really rough. That's super rough.
oh, it's really hard because this green sun. You either hit green. Oh, I would probably hit the Nettle Sentinel or the green suns here.
I almost
Proper
like
take, or actually the
natural order
natural
is
order.
so good though.
Yeah.
Natural order is just so good. I don't mind taking the green sun though either. Especially, I don't know what else is in Slayer's hand, but if he has a way to take out that natural order before it comes online, I think that would probably be good. Because if there's like another Thoughtseize in hand or something, I think that would be a lot better. Just again, if this natural order comes down with a Progenitus or something like that, then this is functionally game over.
If it's not immediately a lethal natural order with a Crater Hoof, I'd honestly be more afraid of the Archon just coming in and naming the right thing.
I could see that. Actually, that's probably better.
Eternally
Faithless
surprised.
looting.
Let's see, we're digging.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Eternally surprised. I'm not gonna lie. There was a moment when that came down that I'm like, "That's an interesting Ultron Thoughtseize. I kind of like it," but no, that's just Claire.
Yeah. Of note here, though, the one good part about this is that without the ley line, it is unless you're going to have 3 of your 4 lotus petals. Oh, I guess there is a scrubland. It's still extremely difficult to ever try and hardcast the Chancellor. I wouldn't see throwing that away being that much of an issue.
No, that's correct. And it's very clear Slayer doesn't have an answer for the
Yeah,
Slayer line, and we're
and
for it.
Slayer did discard Dark Ritual and Chancellor
Yep.
to the Faithless Looting. So we're going to see Dryad Arbor paying for the Chancellor tax and then playing out the Nettle Sentinel. Oof.
Next turn, we get to start going off with this Quirion Ranger, assuming that we draw another elf. And natural order is either going to threaten lethal on that term. And I'm saying lethal in terms of virtual lethal. I'm considering a resolved Archon as essentially lethal.
I can think so. Yeah, Blind Tyrant's playmat's pretty sweet.
I don't know. I don't recognize those characters. That doesn't seem really satiated into pop culture, right? Like,
It's
I don't
Star
know,
Wars.
permeated.
It's Star
No,
Wars
what?
characters.
It's Star Wars.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, this is
Incoming
very.
ban from Beyond Sadistic.
Get me out of here. I'm done. I don't. You don't need me for this last round. I, y'all. When after this round, I'm leaving. Apparently. Take care. Stay beautiful. No, but on Slayer's side, this is incredibly difficult. I feel like you
Yeah.
need to find it on exactly this moment.
I
Maybe you have an
s-
additional turn, but that's incredibly unlikely.
I'm just kind of curious about what's going on here though, because Tyrant still hasn't done anything yet. So unless there's like some technical issues, he must be tanking really hard. Choose
Drawing
a cradle for
Cradle's good.
2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is a natural order right now.
This is just going to get Archon.
Yeah, I would imagine. Oh, yeah, this is definitely probably either an Archon or a Progenitus, not a Crater Hoof. And are we getting a response? We are.
Stifle. Tell me there's a deck here and there's a stifle. Oh my. No wait, stifle doesn't do it. I don't care. Just interact with it, please.
We're
Crash
getting a
March Blast.
Bayou. Oh, return to nature on the ley line of the
Thank you.
void.
This is it. This is the chance.
Okay, so now the Archon is not a complete shutout now.
So Archon needs to name sorcery though.
Yeah,
Because
Archon still needs to name sorcery, yes.
sorcery hits all but Entomb in terms of the effects that can get things into the graveyard. It hits Unmask, Thoughtseize, and hits the Faithless Looting effects.
Yeah.
So yeah, this absolutely needs to be named on sorcery, and of course, it also interacts with Exhume, with not Exhume. No, yeah,
It does
it
interact with Exhume. It
Exhume
doesn't do
and Reanimate.
Entomb. Yeah.
So we need exactly land, Entomb, and Animate Dead.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, beyond sadistic, you needed Animate Dead as the
There
Reanimate.
is
That's
also
the only
one
one that
shallow
works.
grave too.
That's right. That's right. We can get
There
that
is a
hasty
shallow
Grizzlebrand.
grave.
All right. All right. This is all right. We got 4 draws. We got
Ooh.
4 targets we're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just it too. Is the Archon of Elders reach is only a 4/4, so there is a clock. Like there is a clock here, but it's not fast.
You know, we were just assuming he was on sorcery. Had to double check. Yes, it is in fact on sorcery.
Yeah, looks like it was just draw go. And I also really like return to naturing the ley line before he went and grabbed the natural order target.
Yeah, it's just correct, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. I have to look at the stats. Is it a 5/6? Yes, it's a 5/6.
Oh, it is a 5/6. Oh
Of
gosh, that's
note
so
has
much bigger.
Of note has vigilance. So
Yeah.
if we want, we can block at a Grizzlebrand that's attacking him. Swing
Yeah.
in for 6. Gets Slayer down to 10, I believe.
And it also is trample. Oh my goodness. So, of note though, Glimpse of Nature, Grinson Zenith, and Natural Order are all turned off for Blind Tyrant though. Archon of Valor's Reach is what I call a well-designed card in that it's a symmetrical lock effect.
You don't need them. Like the onus is absolutely on Slayer right now.
Yeah.
And flipping things over, revealing all sorceries. Has
Oh
Exhume
no.
and Reanimate.
That's unfortunate.
Ooh, and there's just no way to get there. You need 2 draws. There's 2 more attack steps.
Oh, especially with that Iona too. Oh my goodness, that would have been just lights out.
Yeah, it was just a matter of trying to find the interaction piece in time. Of course, wasn't the I looking back on it now with hindsight, it was 100% correct to go ahead and get and take the natural order. Um, just hard. This
Yeah,
is
I don't fault taking the Grinson Zenith as well. I can't remember if the Cradle was a known card in hand or
it was
not.
not. It was
Okay.
it was a fetch land and other land if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think if you knew Cradle was in hand 100%, you absolutely take the natural order there. But then again, it also depends on if Slayer was expecting Archon of Valor's Reach or not.
That's true. That was unknown. That was an unknown quantity. The vast majority of Sentinel Elves do not play that, right? They're still typically on the double Crater Hoof plan.
Yeah.
And we're seeing unmaskable therapies coming out for all the. Oh, actually, we're seeing that
Wear and Tear, Reverent Silence, and Return to Nature. So there were
was
no
none of the white ones.
Serenities.
Yeah,
No
interesting.
Serenities. I am crying.
Yeah. Well, that's just kind of the way it goes being a reanimator player. You live by the sword, you
Yeah.
die by the sword. We
Oh,
have
boarded out all kinds of stuff.
yeah, seems right. Um of note, cool guy up. We have a fantastic final match for y'all guys. I'm incredibly excited for this. Of course, Go Absurd is locking it up. They did kind of the 2-0 sweep, but for the
Bragging
sake of some
rights.
good
See
old
if they can get
content,
a 3-0 sweep.
oh my goodness, that's it. That's what's on the line here. All right, not combo got to
Oh,
come in here to make
Thoughtseizes
sure it
did
isn't.
come in from Elves. Okay, or at least one did.
Oh, and Assassin's Trophy. Very interesting.
Yeah, the Assassin's Trophy I imagine would have been coming in, so we'll see if the 7th card is an Assassin's Trophy or a Thoughtseize. But,
Really, really interesting choice there. Regardless,
yeah,
y'all, thank you so much for joining us for the second match.
Thoughtseize.
We will see you in a couple of minutes for our final round, and it's going to be a fun one. I cannot wait.
See you in a bit.